I'm here with Lorna Little today in order for her to be able to share her story of taking her next step with God. At Thrive Chapel, we love to hear stories of faith as a way that we can put into context real life situations that can help encourage others. You know, the Bible encourages us to share what God's doing in our own lives. Hebrews 2:12 says, "I will tell of your name," meaning God's name, "to my brothers and sisters in the midst of the congregation. I will sing your praise, and I again will put my trust in him." We share our story to help encourage others that they too can trust God because he's been faithful in our own life. We know that trusting isn't always so easy. So when we come across a real life story that we can portray trust and hope in God, we love to be able to do that. And today I have Lorna because she recently shared a story with me, and I immediately thought, we have got to capture this. We've got to be able to get her to share her story with the congregation or with the church, especially in light of the series that we're in this month called Beyond. So thank you for your vulnerability and your openness to be able to share today, because the topic isn't so easy to share about. It's not so easy to talk about. So I just want to thank you right off the get-go for just being willing to share on such a little bit of a touchy subject.
It is a little bit of a touchy subject, and to be honest, when you first asked me about this, I was a bit horrified. And then as I was driving home, I started thinking, you know what? She used the word testimony. And that's another line of obedience to God, is that we are to share our testimony. So that's kind of what changed my mind, and here I am.
I'm so glad. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about, you came to me a couple of weeks ago and just shared your story of taking your next step with God. So let's just talk about that.
Well, ever since I've been coming to Thrive, we always talk about our next step. And I feel like I have just really grown a lot since being here. And one of the things was that I have been more dedicated to being in his word. He's just put a hunger in my heart for his word.
So good.
And I've really wanted to be obedient also. And I started thinking about my next step in obedience to him in December, and I decided that I needed to tithe 10% of what I made for my job. So I made that decision, and I had already planned it all out. I was going to have to give on the second Sunday because I get 2 paychecks. My first one goes to pay all my bills. So I had a plan, had a good plan. Well, before the second paycheck in January was even arrived, I got word that my job was being eliminated. And it didn't happen immediately. They actually are keeping me employed for 90 days or 60 days. So then I started thinking, wow, well, I guess that's not the time to tithe then. So I went back to my Bible, and I couldn't find anywhere in the Bible where God says he only wants us to give if we have an unlimited source of income.
Right.
So that next Sunday, Pastor Sean said something during his sermon, and I apologize, Pastor Sean, because I don't remember exactly what it was you said, but it stuck me, and it struck me to my core that is really, I still needed to act in faith in this next step. Yeah. But I also knew that as soon as I left, that I was going to get these little niggling things telling me that that's not what I should do.
Right.
So the second thing I did was I got somebody, and I confessed to them as a thing of accountability. Yeah. I said, I want to tell you this is a decision that I've made, and I'm telling you for the sake of accountability, so Satan can't get in and change my mind.
So good. So good.
So I did, and I felt so good after that. Well, I had to part of the reason why they gave me some time in my job was to let other people know that I was leaving. So the last person that I shared that I was not going to be employed anymore actually ended up offering me a job.
Wow.
So
that's so incredible. God's so faithful, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He's so faithful. When we're faithful, man, he just exceedingly abundantly goes beyond all we could think or ask. And so I just want to say thank you again for sharing your story today. I really hope that it just helps encourage somebody else to take their next step with God. Either it's with finances, like you said, with tithing, or maybe it's water baptism, or getting in the Word, like you said, like just daily getting in the Word. And I hope that today her story was able to encourage somebody to just put your trust in God. He is so faithful. So thank you so much, Lorna. I really appreciate it.